Damn, I didn't know. I didn't know he knew it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming. But
Damn.
if unfortunately in the book, I don't really talk about him and bring him down. You know, at the end of the day, a brother, I don't never want to bring another brother down, no matter how high he is.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I don't bring him down. There's nothing that I say about him that really, except for his business and how he handles his business, which may not be fair. That's the only beef I ever had with him. I never had a beef with him as far as his character or however he lived. That's never was my problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I heard, now is this true that there was a time when the CEOs of these labels was trying to come together and get their own like black distribution company? And it was like Puff, Suge, the brother from Rap a Lot, and somebody else. Huh?
I never heard of that one, but if that was the case, that was going to be exactly where another brother, you know, that's going to be big, heavy drug trafficking right there. That's it. Because only time they really wanted to use your artist was to have them in the studio and have permission to send some dope to the studio. You know, man, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this industry people ain't really understand. So, you know, if I'm a high artist, I'm from California. You understand? I get signed to a management company. I'm going to work in New York. When I go to work in New York, they get a sense of work, not no wheels. It's going to be some work. Then that's going to be the business.
Now, what about like major labels paying other labels not to play somebody on the radio and stuff like that? Does that go down?
Yeah, it does, because it's absolute control. It's like if it's only, let's say you got the East Coast run, you got the West Coast run, then you're gonna have an R&B run. So usually you have Snoop is gonna come out with a record, he's gonna be living on the radio. Everybody else is gonna be quiet. But then, like, let's say the Wu-Tang will come with something, then the West Coast is silent, the East Coast is up. And then in that intermission, they're gonna come out with some R&B, maybe some Usher or something like that. Let the R&B live. But there's only certain many slots that a radio station could sell in order to make it profitable. So it may only be, let's say, they say top 30. So that means we only play the top 30 records in the nation, which means we're only gonna play those same 30 songs over and over and over again. Right. And that's control. When you think of what kind of family controls airwave signals and television, that's Jewish control. What the Jewish mafia had over us the whole time. The ability to put us on television and put us on the radio. Now, the Italian mafia, they own distribution plants, which means we're able to go put your record and press it up and put it, and we own the record stores too, the Strawberries. You remember back in the day, all the record shops, these things are obsolete now. But back in the days, we used to have record shops. If you want to get the Rick James album, you got to walk your ass down to the record shop, buy the album, and you got to go home and have a record player.
That's right.
That's the only way you're going to listen to Rick James, right? So, you know, yeah, that's how that thing went, man.
So you're not concerned about talking about the Jewish community, like after it went down, well, you know how they start calling people anti-Semitic, and you know they dealt with what's his name, Mariah Carey's man, Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
The guy who Puffy bought his house in Miami. I think the guy built this house for like $4 million. He sold it to Puff for 25 or something like that. So it's like, damn, that's 20 extra million. I mean, did you owe him some money or something? Like, did you have to buy the house in order to pay the debt? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how things go. You know, sometimes you got a producer who will do a song for you. They be like, I don't want the money. Give me a Ferrari, because it's, you know, you got to do the tax part on it. You know what I'm saying? You owe me this, give me the house, buy the house. That way you can give me my money, I can walk away with more of my money. You know what I'm saying? So I want to tell you something.
So with these Jews, you like, I mean, you just telling facts, right? And I understand that. But you're not concerned with them coming at you and all of that?
I paint houses, I rehab homes, I build decks, repair roofs, put up sheetrock, sand them. I build a house from the ground up, and I will do it for you. I actually work with a lot of Jews right now.
Okay.
And the real Jews, you know, sometimes when I really get into it and I think about the original Jew,
Mm-hmm.
and then I say, hey, you know, I can't be mad at Jews because if I think who's the original Jew,
Mm-hmm.
then, but you ever had to sit face to face with a Jewish person and be like, bro, I am way more stingier than you. And if you ever need anything, you will have to talk to me to get it. See, no matter what, if an Italian had drugs or a Jewish had drugs, who was they going to need to put them on 8th Avenue and 7th?
Mm, got you.
You're going to need me.
That's right.
You can't do it without me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the amazing thing is us as black men, we are powerful.
That's
We
true.
always have been.
That's
You
true.
know, and that's something I give to us, man, because no matter what people were doing, they needed us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, man, like growing up in Teaneck gave us a lot of benefit because at that time the Jews were in Teaneck High School in the school system, and we had Jewish friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've talked to like a Jew who used to tell me that he was a little 15-year-old. He used to say, "You know what's wrong with your people? They don't have political action committees." He said they don't have what you call it, those political action committees and interest groups, and y'all don't pressure the government. He said, that's what we do. That's what you need to do. He used to sit there and tell me, knowing that I was sitting there teaching Dr. Ben stuff, Dr. Clark, Elijah Muhammad, and he'd sit down with me and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we don't have that, like, that thing, like, because when people don't really communicate with each other, they start putting people bigger. Like, a racist would say, black guy, oh, those blacks. But then when you meet a racist one-on-one, like, oh, we got stuff in common. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with the Jews. So, like, it's not really a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I think they just have their thing in place where they got to protect their interests,
Yeah.
protect their history and all that.
You want to know how powerful we are, bro? We can turn on television and we can be black actors, comedians, or whatever. We can joke about white people all and everything. But when white people joke on us, we don't like that. And as black men, I say, you know, I think when I look at us, I think that we are very racist. But we're not racist like we don't want nobody dating our black women.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want, when we even see a white dude in the club, if he ain't cool with the cool people, he can't come. So we got jokes on them. We ready to tell the jokes. We're gonna call them cracker, all kind of stuff. So us as a people, if you look at us and you say, how do we look at racially? How do we divide ourselves from other races? As black men, we are terrible. But we have a right to be. We have a little right to be.
Yeah.
You know I'm saying, because we've been taking the short end of the stick for a long time. So
when I go to 42nd Street now and 125th in Harlem, I get mad. I be like, what's this lady skipping around with her little dog for it, jogging around? So back in the day, man, they would have got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, that shows immaturity. But like you said, that shows like a racism type of thing reversed. I'm like, you can't be walking through here. This is ours. Like, this Harlem.
Yeah, especially if the dog is a bloodline dog, you be like, we're ready to take this dog and be breeding them over there, selling them puppies over there. You know what I mean?
Like, you in the wrong place. Come here.
Regentification hit us.
Word.
Yeah, it hit us real. But you know that the world is turning to be a better place for our children, I think. You know, I like to see what we're gonna leave to them. You know,
that's true. That's what it is, man. That's what it's all about. That's why I'm glad you're doing what you're doing too, because they need to be able to listen to you. They need to be able to read the book. They need to be able to check out the movie when it come out, so that their mind is, you know what I'm saying, open, and they're not going to make the same mistakes that we made. Because the biggest devil, as you know, is a black devil. So you know, that's why, like, I don't really get caught up. You know, even when I was deep into the teachings and verbal, I was like, yo, I'm not going to get so caught up in the white man, because these black dudes, some of them hate me. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Fuquan, rest in peace. We used to go down to Toppers or Carl's Corner, and everybody, you know, a lot of the team, like people BSing, act like they're your friend. And he used to go, they hate us, Small. They hate us. Look at them. They hate us. You know, I used to know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a black guy gets you good, and the sister too. They get you good. So you got to kind of be open-minded, and the children need to know that. But they also need to know, like, have your own power. You know what I'm saying? Have your own sovereignty. Don't let nobody violate your cipher. You know what I'm saying? But like the same way you treat a white person or let them treat you, that's the same way. Like, in other words, make your boundary, your cipher.
Yeah.
You can't penetrate this, no matter who you are.
Right. I always looked at it and I said, come on, you know, it's an energy. It's a beautiful energy and it's a negative energy.
Right.
There's a good, there's a bad, there's a right, there's a wrong, there's a up, there's a down. You know what I'm saying? So when you divide the good from the bad, you say, you know what, within me, I have the ability to be good and I have the ability to be bad.
That's right.
But according to how I deal with you, I say if I'm going to be good or I'm going to be bad. Some people, you say you can't be good to bad people. You know, some people only understand until you pull a gun out. They be like, what? You pull a gun out, they be like, I understand you, I hear you loud and clearly. But it takes for you to be bad for them to understand you. So you'd be like, damn, right. You know how many people take advantage of you because you're good, and they know that you won't unleash that bad? Right. So, you know, I always say the devil is something that's still going to exist in every man, but just don't pull him out. Right. Don't let the dude make the major decisions for you in your day. You know what I'm saying? When you say, hey, I need to go to work and earn me some dollars, the devil be like, nah, let's not do that. Let's go over here and take this. You be like, I'm not even listening to you. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, alter egos. You got Eminem, you got Marshall Mathers. You have Beyonce, you have Sasha Fierce. Every artist has an ego, right. You know, that they, you know, I'm this person, but then this person is, you be like, how the heck do you divide yourself into two people? Well, this one's a hoe. This one's a good girl. This dude right here takes care of his daughter. That's right. This dude right here don't like the baby mama. You be like, that's right. The good guy says that he appreciates the baby and the baby mama, right? And I should be writing a song about you. You know what I'm saying? That's the good guy. You know what I'm saying? But in order for him to make money, what is he going to do? He's going to sell his story about his relationship with his girlfriend and how he feels about, I feel like I'm going to throw her in the creek or whatever it be. You know, we feel like that sometimes, quite often in life, but do we voice it? Do we want to voice that energy and put it out there? So, you know, of all the millions of people that's listening, that's going through baby mother problems and relationship problems, do you want them to throw their, you know, do what the song does? You know what I'm saying? You know how powerful Michael Jackson was? When Michael Jackson did a concert, people would cry. Right. Cry. What would make them people cry? It's because they have such a connection with Michael Jackson, his character, the spirit, that they absolutely love the man. Right. Right? That's right. What music can do. Music is the most powerful force on the universe. If you use it wrong, it could be the most deadliest thing on the universe. Right.
And I was like speaking with my queen, and she was like talking about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and how it's bad for a woman's image and all that, you know. But I was just like, you know what? Nobody's trying to cancel them. You know why? Because people like that. Right. No matter what they say, they ain't trying to cancel them. It's just Magic City, but it's just on video. Yeah. You know, and as righteous as I think I am, you know, I took a look at the video, and I might look again. You know
That's right. That's right.
And then I'll go say, Allahu Akbar, when I'm praying. But see, they walk by, I'm going, look. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't
She's good. She's good, but you know, I look at things and I say, you know, for us to air certain things on airways, and that means that we're projected and we're reaching into millions now. You have to be a little bit more careful about the message that you send out into the universe. So even when you say something like, she know he give all his money to Megan, he know it's very expensive to date. That means that we are setting inside men's mind that it's expensive to date or to love someone. That's just the wrong message to put into the universe. But true. The powers will always put the wrong message into the universe because the wrong message gains them control over the spirit and over the mind, over the soul. Right. So in order to capture a person's soul, you start with manipulating them with nonsense.
Yes.
So that's what music is. It's a lot of manipulated nonsense. You know, all of the mental midgets gotta go. Cause you know what? I can't stand mental midgets on the fence, walking around taking hip hop for granted.
Fighting the light that I recite on the mic when the
Yeah.
time is right to get hype.
Yeah.
On a lick,
Yeah, psych,
psychologically,
yeah.
I control
So
MCs
see,
because they
because
lack
they lack
magnetic
mathematic
mentality.
mentalities, call them.
Mental midgets, because
Because
they
they,
fidget, and I'm the
yeah,
lifesaver to give them
uh-huh,
flavor, resurrecting
yeah,
like God, taking you out the graveyard. True hustlers in effect, wreck and
yeah.
sabotage. You
Who,
live
who,
in
whose
large, or
song
I
is
sure
that?
hope so. I'm uplifting the nation, and mental
Uh-huh,
midgets gotta go.
yeah. Who wrote that song?
Kamal Supreme.
Allah, you understand? That was one of your joints, man. And it was
Yeah.
mental midgets. When I just heard the word mental midgets, that reminds me of a lot of the people. We dealing with mental midgets, you know what I'm saying, or mental babies. You know, but when you're dealing with a baby, whenever you feed a baby, what you feed it? Baby
Milk.
food, right?
Yeah, it's off.
You ever see somebody feeding the baby burgers?
No, not yet.
Because they're not ready to digest the burger like that, right?
Right.
Sometimes you got to deal with grown people like they babies. You be like, nigga, I'm going to give you baby food of life. Nigga. I
That's true.
cannot give you the steak of the truth.
That's true.
You know, I got to
Can't
give you
handle it.
applesauce. You know what I'm
Can't
saying?
handle it.
You can't handle it. Your stomach won't be able to deal with it.
Like you can't even say something positive about Trump.
No?
You lose friends.
Yeah, you lose friends. You
I
know, but
shared stuff about, like, something that might be negative about Kamala, and people got on Facebook like, "You going down the wrong path. You got to vote for." So, yo, I just shared something for you to read.
yeah. And you know, it's a saying that that say, you know, people can't drive you unless you give them the key. So you know, no matter what we're up against in this world, man, it can't affect you unless you give it the keys.
Amen. That's the science. That's where I've been at recently, brother.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, nothing ain't harming me.
Nothing
I'm
ain't harming
spirit.
me. That's right.
I'm soul. Like, get up out of here.
I went outside before I even went outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I already went to the store and seen what I needed to do and what was there and what wasn't.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not a mental midget. I'm a mental giant. You know,
yeah, that's crazy that you remembered them lyrics, man. That's like what, 90? Dang, that's like 90 or something. 88.
It was on a record. I used to sit and listen to it. I can't stand it. Yo, I used to remember. Because you know,
that's the one that
actually,
almost got signed on.
And that's the one that when I heard you, that's one of my favorite songs in the world.
Wow. Thank you.
I remember. That's how I can remember it. I remember that like Biggie Smalls. But
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get them, Mo. Let's get them. You know?
Yeah. All right. So what was your relationship with Tupac?
Tupac was a good friend of all of ours. He was a good friend because when Tupac used to come into the rim shop, remember we did Too Short's car at the rim shop. We turned to a Cadillac and put a Rolls Royce front on Too Short's Cadillac. He was from Oakland. And then from then, every brother from Oakland wanted to send a car down to the rim shop in Atlanta to get it worked on. One of the Cadillacs that got sent there was Tupac's. So we had fixed Tupac's Cadillac and had it right for him. He didn't come into the shop for about 2 months. And then all of a sudden, one day he comes in and he sees his Cadillac. He said, "That's mine." And he fell in love with the Cadillac. And ever since then, he come to the rim shop every day. It's like one of the things you do. You wake up, get dressed, go to the rim shop. Wake up, get dressed, go to the rim shop. That's every day. Are you going to get a car wash? You're looking for a bag of weed or something, whatever the brother was doing. You come to the rim shop, every person you want to see, every person you want to meet is going to be there.
Wow. Did you know that when you first started working there? That was going to be like that?
I didn't, it's because, funny you say that, because we made that. Like, we put the studio in the basement to make it have that attraction.
Okay.
So, it was like that because that's what we made it. And, a lot of people thought that the studio belonged to Eric Sermon because Eric Sermon was out here working on a lot of the groups here in Atlanta for like LaFace and Rowdy. So he used to work out of the rim shop in the basement a lot. So everybody thought that it was his rim shop. And it actually belonged to the dude, Dent, who wrote Survivor.
Who wrote what?
My friend Dent, he wrote Survivor for Beyonce,
Okay.
him and
Wow.
Shakespeare. You know, a lot of, man, it's a lot of stuff going on here. You know, but you know, Hitco, which was the production company, what happened, they was the one who had Beyonce signed. So if Beyonce was coming out with a new single, let's say Hitco has their own producers. They say, hey, I signed the producer for $500,000. I gave him $500,000. So now Beyonce's coming out with a new single. I'm a producer and I want to have action at doing Beyonce's new single. If I'm not signed to Hitco, they're not going to let me do the single because the single is going to be a way to recoup the $500,000. So I'm gonna let the guy who I gave the deal to do Beyonce's single. Not even Beyonce could do her own single because it's too much in politics. It's like we got to get our money back from this producer we gave this money to.
Yeah.
We want him to do the single.
Right.
You know, and that was Hitco. So all of that was going here. You had all of the producers, all of the songwriters, and L.A. Reid was here, who was the mastermind of all, which was Clive Davis's friend. Again, so which was Andre Harrell's friend. Again, so you know, when you start looking at that circle, you start saying, "Hey, man, you know what? This circle, this industry has been ran by you 3, 4 old men for a long time, and like, how are y'all going to be able to determine what the new generation is going to be on? Like, you got to let the new leaders lead the new leaders. Sometimes you got to be an old leader, talk to one new leader, and teach them how to lead 1 million people. Right? They still want to be that one leader. You be like, but you're not. They have a Puff Daddy, they have a Jay-Z, they create them, but then you be like, now y'all turning to him for answers. Like he got the answer. Puff don't know the answer. He don't know how to make you street, how to protect you from this Suge Knight saying this. Puffy can't protect you. If you call Puffy and told Puffy, Mr. L.A. Reid, or Mr. Clive Davis, or whoever it may be, Mr. Andre Harrell, hey, Suge Knight is harassing me. Do you think that Puffy's gonna handle it?
No.
Puffy's gonna call some other people.
Right.
When he called them other people, they gonna handle it. We was the one you was calling.
So what's up with what was up with Suge always coming to Atlanta? You know, like he was trying to start on Death Row East. Is that what that was?
He was trying to do that, but Suge was more on strong arming artists from Bad Deals. So he already cleaned up, went through the face. He got TLC. You see, he got Left Eye. Then he came and Chili was his girlfriend. Swooped him up. He was swooping up on Dallas. He was trying to get illegal. He was getting him for his. And, you know, it's a story behind you know, with Dallas Austin's brother. A lot of people don't know about. You know, where he had went to Los Angeles to have a meeting with Suge about a group, and I think Dallas was doing some work for Danny Boy. And when they came down, I think it was supposed to be like some 100,000, 150, but they didn't have all of the money when Dallas' brother got there. And they was doing like I work on Malik and Jamal album, and then you work on Danny Boy. And some kind of way things didn't go right. But as a result, Claude Austin died in a hotel to a overdose. They say he overdosed on cocaine. But Claude Austin also had open heart surgery that we already knew because he had a bubble in his heart. And we knew Claude wasn't going to go out there and do no cocaine because his heart wasn't going down. But they said that he overdosed. But again, a lot of murders in Hollywood are looking staged like
suicide.
You know what I'm saying? That's a story that in the movie, that story's coming out.
Okay.
Because it's just something we can't let it go without bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not suckers. We're not tucking our tails and running. I'm not a sucker. I don't tuck my tail and run. A lot of people tuck their tail and run. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, and Dallas is my friend. And Claude was a friend as well. So it's just to tell that story and let that spirit live is just something that that movie's gonna do. That movie's gonna release a few spirits, man. That Shimmerton movie I'm on. It's gonna release spirits and truth, yes. People gonna be able to live. Families been murdered for 40 years, unsolved murder. It's gonna be solved because it's not unsolved. It's just something that y'all don't want to talk about.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Talk about it, you know.
Wow. It's the only reason it's hard to interview you is because I be getting sucked into the story.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a lot of great stories, man. This is about us. Not Puffy, not Jay-Z. Us. They not the ones. They just the ones they put in position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if Puffy got 100, if he got $1 billion, just imagine how much money we could have had.
True. That's true. Now, how does like Master P fit into that? Was he like revolutionary? Is he as independent as they say that he is?
Master P. First of all, he allowed everybody an opportunity to live. My Master P only said, about it, right? Everybody else did the songs and the music. He let everybody eat. So one thing about Master P, and everybody had what was that? No Limit chain.
Right.
How many people you seen had the Bad Boy chain?
Oh.
Down that era, you remember? So Def had a chain.
Yeah.
No Limit. Death Row had a chain. Puffy wouldn't buy a Bad Boy chain for nobody. He didn't even want to make one. You know, a Bad Boy chain with the little diamonds do with a diamond record or something. Give it to y'all and make them feel good. We was running around with nothing. I was borrowing the barber's chain. Because the barber had a medallion with some clippers all in diamonds. So when I perform, I'm like, look at that, tuck it in my shirt. Just let it pop like this. Look like I got the Bad Boy chain on every time I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? It was a clipper. He ain't give nobody no chain. You know what I mean? But that's just something that you look at and you say, that means you don't want people to feel good about what they're doing. Everybody's miserable around this camp here, man. And this ain't Bad Boy. You happen to be one of the nicest individuals I ever met before in my life.
Wow.
Call yourself Bad Boy. You're not bad, man. You nice. Actually, you pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey, what was your relationship with Biggie?
Biggie, I knew Biggie, but I knew Biggie from I mean, we in the same camp, we in the same place, but I was never a groupie. If it wasn't no reason for me to be at your table having your drink with you, smoking your blunt with you, somebody paid back. But he knew who I was from my music and what was going on my transition. So he knew, okay, that's the new guy, Puffy signing from Los Angeles. And we've been in the same room multiple times before. But again, Puffy was never a star to me. You know, like when I grew up, my father was a star.
Right.
When I grew up, you was a star. So I'm like, yo, you know, Puffy, I can't compare you to Kamal, who said, I can't stand mental midgets on the planet. That song right there is just as big as Victory to me. Yo, the sun don't shine forever. I do a mix. Yeah, but I still can't stand mental midgets on the planet. You can't beat that.
You gonna make me put it back out now.
You better put it back out because you can't beat that mental midget or your mental. I'd be like, you know what? You're just a mental midget. I mean, you're a small thinker. You're a midget and mental. You're mental. You're a midget in the mind. You can't step up too high. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I knew Big like that. You know, I knew Mace. I knew all of the artists there. Who I didn't know, I never saw Jaguar Wright in none of the studio sessions. No, I ain't never seen nobody working with in the studio, none of the hitmen. No, I don't know where Jaguar Wright came from. Wow. You know, I say that and standing in defense of Puff, because, you know, if it's true, it's true. I don't mind, we gonna bash a man, let's bash a man, but the age that we are right now, I was saying that Puff was what Puff was in 2009, and it wasn't that term. Here we are in 2021, someone's gonna reiterate the same thing that I've been saying and not mention my book. So if you haven't mentioned my book, first of all, your story may not be too legitimate. You haven't even mentioned me. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I look at things and I say, you know, Puff has children now. His children are 18, 19, 20, 20, all of that. Sometimes when you grow up, you say, let me let the kids live. You know, I don't want to bash the man and call him this kind of stuff. And his children are reading it. His little girls are reading it. You know what I'm saying? So who am I to put that vision in their head? Jaguar Wright, you know, I never knew her. I never really even seen too many, and excuse me for saying this, African American females around the camp. And I know every baby mother Puff has, from the one Justin's mama to Kim Porter, who come from out here, to I got the one that come from Minnesota. Knew her. I mean, and I never seen him do anything but create children with females. I never saw him do nothing for me.
Right.
Now, even if that was happening, they wouldn't allow someone like her to even be present. It's like, wow, you know, once you're present, I went to Michael Jackson's house for a party. They made you sign a waiver and say everything that happened in this house, you can't talk about it.
Right. Right.
I signed waivers around when you go on tours and stuff. They'd be like, whatever happens on this tour, you cannot talk about certain things if you see, and then you didn't see anything. It's just in case you did see anything. Right. It's not something that says you ain't gonna say shit.
Right. Now, she's saying that the female lawyer that worked there walked in on the situation.
Female lawyer?
Yeah.
I only knew the one white lawyer. His name was Kenny Marsalis. You understand? That was Puff lawyer, and that's the one who I did the deal with. He's been Puff lawyer for a long time. I never even seen a female lawyer even.
Was there a female executive at Bad Boy, a sister?
Only thing you're gonna look at is Puff's assistants, like
wow.
I forget their names, but even them, like that Jaguar, I don't know what that, like she would have to use them and throw them under the bus and be like, Norma told me. That's one of Puff's assistants, or Farnsworth Bentley. You know, did Farnsworth Bentley tell you this kind of stuff? You know what I'm saying? She can't even say if it was Bentley or Norma or whoever. So it's like, I never saw the girl around, you know? I mean, it's just a lot of things, you know, we stand in the event sometimes, because when we wrong, we wrong. Sometimes when we right, we right. And I just don't think that, you know, if you want to come down on a man, talk about his business. Don't talk about his life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Even with, you know, with my book, when I brought it out, you have the one security guard, you know, I knew him very well. And it's like the whole time he's talking about Puff and this and Puff and that. Not one time has he mentioned, you know, Mark Curry wrote a book, Dancing with the Devil. I suggest everybody read it out of that. Nobody ever gave me that plug, and I was telling the truth for a long time. So when I look at things today, I look at it and I say, hey, you know what? I can't stand by that right there, because we not together. If we was together, they would have also alley-ooped Mark Curry did threw me somewhere, so I could. I'm not saying I needed it, but it's the truth, you know. And if you don't talk about me while you're talking about the truth, then something about the truth ain't right.
Now, let me play devil's advocate. Like, when she hears this, if she hears this, what if she say like, oh, he could write a whole book about Puff, but I can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Because I didn't write in my book that I walked into a room and saw Puff doing anything with someone like Christopher Williams or nothing like that, because I didn't see it. Right. I never saw Christopher Williams nowhere around the camp period either. So it's like, you know, Christopher Williams, if you would have saw Christopher Williams around the camp, he would have been doing songs with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He would have been doing songs with Mace. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Williams sang, but he, you know, you ain't hear him. You know, it's like, how did he gonna go all the way out his circle to deal with Christopher Williams? You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, even if it was the truth, so what? That's his business. Who cares? I wouldn't care if Puff went and dated whoever he wanted to. That's his business. Right. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with you because I got a friend who will kill. I ain't gonna not hang out with him because he killed somebody. I'd be like, man, I don't care who you kill. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep that over there, we just gonna go over there and have a drink at the bar. That's it. We're not riding. We're not going to do part two of the business or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, you're still a friend. I don't care. You know, a friend is a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know
so that's how you do that. It seems like some people in the business act like they can't avoid having sex with somebody else.